Hey guys, what's going on? Culprit here, and today I'm going to talk about the upcoming imminent patch. I believe they said the patch is coming on the 4th, so it's only a couple days away, obviously, and I am anxiously looking forward to it because at least looking through the notes, there's a lot of changes in there that I really like, and I feel like they didn't overdo it this time. They focused on what needed to be fixed, and hopefully they deliver that. But first, let me introduce the background video. You see, this is Rush Defense on Caspian Border. This is myself playing with Admiral and Zion. I believe this is the first night I ever played with Zion, so this one's a little bit old. This is when we first kind of got together in preparation for the PTFO tournament. Kind of had this on my hard drive for a little while, looking for a spot to use it, so I decided to do it here. It's a funny little gameplay because if you watch the whole thing, especially, we get steamrolled in the beginning. We give up the first base pretty quickly. We give up the second base really quickly. I mean, like, they blew through their blitzkrieg style. And we even give the first MCOM on the last base fairly quickly. I think they had like one MCOM left with like 50, maybe more tickets left really quickly. And we didn't look too good, but dug in our heels and we put up a good fight at the last MCOM. I mean, I'm not going to give anything away. You guys know I post wins and losses. And we put up a good fight at the end, and I liked it, and so I kept it around for a little while just because it was a different wrinkle, and I hope you guys enjoy it. But other than that, I'm going to focus mostly on the patch. First things first, I mean, obviously, the M26 dart situation is resolved, or, you know, so they say it is. So, you know, at the best, the worst case scenario, I'm hoping they fix the dart, and we'll see what else might come of this. I don't know. Seemed like a fairly straightforward fix to me as far as understanding the bug. I don't really understand why it took them this long. This seemed like something to me that would be worthy of a hot fix, but that's neither here nor there, and that's water under the bridge at this point. So let's just focus on the positive. That's very good. Let's get that out of here. I do have to say, you know, credit to, I can't speak for console, I haven't played much there. Credit to the PC kind of community that I haven't really seen that this much anymore. You know, it was really bad for a while. And then it seems like the custom servers, private servers kind of iron that out pretty quickly. I still run into it every now and then, but it's pretty rare, and it's actually pretty surprising when I do see it. So that's kind of a good way to talk about that, you know, custom servers are a good thing. As far as my next biggest thing, Suppression. You guys all know I've done videos on it. I generally enjoy Suppression. I dislike the random accuracy. That's in a nutshell. If you're interested, I have another video of it going into greater detail. Look it up. It's a couple weeks ago. It's not that far back.
Yeah, there's a tank he shot me.
Dice has been saying, been quoted as saying, we are dialing the suppression effect back a notch. It will still be higher than it was prior to any of our patches. So basically what they're saying is they're dialing it back from the last patch. They're admitting that this is too much, but it's going to be more than it was before the last patch, which is fine. That's what I've said they need to do. Suppression in a game mechanic is okay. But what they've also said they're going to do is reduce the inaccuracy added when in suppression. I am really hoping that this means that random accuracy, where basically I could have my crosshairs on a guy, like dead center on his chest or his face, but because I am quote-unquote suppressed, whether by a stray bullet or by that guy, my bullets are going to go 3 feet left, they're going to go 2 feet right, they're going to go 1.5 feet low. To no, you know, failure of my own, my bullets will not go where physics say they should go, and that is ridiculous. It needs to be removed. I'm hoping that's what this means, that I have to now fight through, you know, environmental effects, blurred screen, added recoil, smoke, foggy lens. I don't care what you do, but give me a way to fight through it and where I can personally counter it. And if I am able to do that and get my crosshairs to remain on that guy, please make it so those bullets go where I aim. That's all I ask. It's very simple. Let's hope that's what this is. The next thing would be colorblind support on console. You know, I think this is great. I play in colorblind mode. I probably prefer it. I do switch back and forth. You could file this one away again as why wasn't this done earlier? I don't know. It goes back to the whole lacking resources thing I've always been talking about. But it's here now. Console guys enjoy that. I will probably play with it on console, so that's a good thing. They've reduced the input lag for gamepads and joysticks on all platforms. Not really sure what that means. I don't see how that would affect PC at all. But any improvement is good on, you know, the Xbox and PS3, especially going into a very highly twitchy environment as it will be close quarters. The new DLC, you're going to be, you know, a lot of quick reflexes, quick reactions. You cannot have input lag. Hopefully this will finally reduce the input lag from the PS3. Another thing, deploy times on gadgets will be faster to deploy in quote-unquote high-stress situations. This is good. I mean, I haven't really thought this one out too much, to be quite honest. I don't use a lot of gadgets. I'm more of a med pack, revive, or rocket guy. But, you know, if you're going to make recon and aggressive recon and, you know, good played recon more viable, I'm all for that.
I feel like I remember that name.
They have increased the effectiveness of aim assist at close range. Really? You need aim assist at close range?
Yeah.
Alright.
You know, I'm not hating on console guys. I need aim assist when I go back to console, but I just don't understand why you would need aim assist really at close range. I mean, I understand you have to do this before close quarters. I understand that you want to make the game as enjoyable and playable for everyone.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
God, that kind of speaks a little bit of volumes to the state of your game if you need aim assist at close range. It seemed odd to me, but, you know, if it's a benefit, I'm all for it. Players will now be able to spawn on a radio beacon looking in the same direction the beacon is facing. The beacon will always face in the direction the player is facing when it was planted. This is fine. It's very simple. It adds another layer of quote-unquote strategy, or it's just at least control that is given to the player, which I am always all for. So I like this. I see this making spawn beacons much more effective, because I am at this point where I don't even spawn on them. Because A, you're in the menus and you can't tell where the hell the spawn beacon is, because the view angles are so bad, and supposedly they've fixed that as well. And they're more of a liability than they are a help. So I mean, some of that is the fault of a dumb recon. But, you know, typically they're not worth it to spawn in. But hopefully this will help with that. The guy can do a little more preparation when putting it in, and I will have a little more information upon prior to spawning to make it more effective. The next one's probably one of my favorites, honestly, and it is the 40mm smoke that will now stay longer. This is great. I've really taken to smoke. I enjoy using smoke in all different manners. I just feel like it, you know, the smoke thrown on an M16, which is already a great all-around weapon, you add a great all-around tool like smoke, and you have just like the Swiss Army knives of, you know, guns, and it's really a great combo. Smoke can be used in so many different ways. So now you're telling me it'll last longer, which is one of the things I really felt it needed, and that's great. So let's hope it's significant enough. You know, there's a fine line there. There's got to be a balance. You don't want people griefing and smoking out the whole map. But it definitely needed a buff, and I'm glad to see it did. They've tweaked the flashlight so it's less blinding at the edge of the screen. So apparently they're okay with it still being, you know, a solar flare in the middle of your screen. I don't understand their infatuation with the flashlight. It's one of those things that on the whiteboard might have sounded like a cool idea, but on day 2 of internal testing, they should have said, take this thing out. But this is DICE, and this is what we deal with. They have, another little neat thing, fixed so the weapon's fire mode is saved in between spawns. This is great. I mean, this is one of those things that everybody's called for so long. I do like it. There will be a problem where, you know, like, you're mid-range, you're in semi-auto, you get sniped out, you get revived or something, and you're in the heat of battle now, and now you're semi-auto. But, you know what, I think that is few and far between compared to the other end of it. Fix an issue with footsteps couldn't be heard behind you. This is great. Sometimes I like the sound whore. I don't get to do that very often when I'm recording because I'm typically playing in a squad and I have the game audio turned down. But this should be available to me when I play solo or when I choose to hear it, because I do have a good sound setup. So that's a good fix. I'm not going to go into all the weapon stuff. I'm just going to point out the most notable ones that jumped off the page to me. First and foremost being AEK is going to see a little bit of a buff where the foregrip recoil reduction bonus is increased. Now, what does that mean? Basically, the benefit you're going to see to putting a recoil on, a foregrip on your AEK is going to be increased. Why is that significant? Well, the M16 is not seeing any buff. The AK-74M is not seeing any buff. You know, none of the other mainstream agreed upon good weapons are seeing any buff. This is, and I'll tell you what, the AEK was right there with the M16. You'll see the fashionable. It's turning fashionable right now. It's becoming. You'll see a lot of guys are starting to use it with a heavy barrel foregrip. This is going to give it a nice tweak, depending how far they go with this. And I could potentially see the AEK challenging the M16 for like that god weapon role. I mean, right now, medium range out, I tend to go with the M16. Medium range in maps, I tend to go with the AEK. So I could see this really challenging if that recoil reduction is increased significantly. They reduced some of the vertical recoil and zoomed accuracy penalties on the FAMAS from the previous update. Basically a big oops. We overdid it on the FAMAS. and you know they're going to try to revert some of that. For me, as long as that reload time is that long and the magazine is that small, the FAMAS is a no-go for me. And lastly, they fixed so all clip-based LMGs have extended mags as an available unlock. In other words, they goofed. They took some of them away. I'm hoping this means that the M27 is now going to have extended mags. I don't know if it does or not right now. And the MG36, I really like that with extended mags, and they took those away. So I'm hoping those will return. I don't know if that's considered a clip-based because it's really a drum. I'm hoping that does because it's really imbalanced without it. And let's be honest, the LMGs need some love. They're just not very usable right now. So let's hope that'll add a little more, usability to the LMG type class. So those are my thoughts on the patch. Let's hope this thing comes out smooth, no problems, no new, snafus, so to speak. And we can all just enjoy the game how it's supposed to be played. And we can move into the new Close Quarters DLC without any huge issues. So I'll be crossing my fingers. I know you guys will be too. And let's meet back here in about a week or so, and I'll probably post another video talking about my reaction to the patch. So thanks again, guys, for watching. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you soon. Take care, guys.